Really, I've mostly been crafting, I would say, my whole life, but I think I started um, like really making books in 2013, 2014, and then I think I created my channel in 2015 or 16. And so, yeah, that's all I do.
Okay, I'm gonna look on Facebook and see if did you happen to see on your thread whether anybody asked questions or anything like that?
I didn't see any questions
Okay,
other than the code for Etsy, which
okay,
I think I thought I said it in the video, but I did post it in the description box also.
perfect. Thank you. I will pull that and put it on the page right here in a few minutes. Somebody hit me up if I forget to do that. Do you have, if you don't have any questions to answer, do you have journals you can show us?
I have the two that I'm working on, the ones that I have for the retreat that I was revamping.
Yes. Can you tell us,
Yeah.
show us the inside? And because once we see what you can do, we want to know how you did it. So, or what, or what you used for that or whatever. And that's pretty much how all of these Q&As are going. It's just very casual. And yeah, we all
Okay.
want picture.
Yeah, let me grab my phone stand. Just give me one sec. I left my big one upstairs, my overhead, but give me one sec.
Nice. No problem. Take your time.
Uh, the videos that I have posted recently are the ones that kind of are, um, they're kind of like surrounding the the um the same topic as I did for the retreat. So that way, like if people were looking at the video from the retreat, and then they wanted to see more, like the retreat video is how I did the covers. I redid the covers. Hold on, it has the blur on me. I gotta see how I take that off. Um, it's got the blur on me, so it's gonna blur it if I hold it up, I think. Yeah.
Here, I can tell you
Um,
how.
I'm not sure. Let me see. I have to think about taking the background off, I think.
Yeah. So video settings, that little arrow up, click that, and then click on video settings. Should open uh, a window that says video. Go down to background and effects.
Okay. There we go.
Say none. Yes.
Okay, so I think that's good now. Sorry, I'm sitting like in my kitchen, so sorry.
No, you're fine. We're all casual here. It's totally fine. We know you
Okay.
have a house.
So yeah, now you can see it. So on the retreat, what I did was I revamped the cover. So that's the video that you guys saw in the retreat video. However, like this whole book was actually a completely different theme. And what I did in the other videos that I have up on my channel is I went through and I redid the insides, which is something that was new to me because um, I've shown, I think, I don't know, like, and this is kind of why I wanted to do this for this retreat, because I think a lot of times we find so many things that are like, this is how you do it, this is how it can be done, let's make this, let's do that. But it's not always, and this is my first time that I've encountered it also, even over all these years, because every book that I have made has sold. These I've shown two times, I think, and they're still with me. And I was like, maybe I need to go back to the drawing board. So I think that gave me a good opportunity to like exercise like creativity in like what else can I do, or what way can I transform this to make it something that might be completely different. And if you know me or if you don't know me, gothic stuff, dark stuff is like my specialty on my whole channel. It's what I do. Back in the day, when Gypsy Rose Papery was, that was her channel then, we did a gothic swap, and those two gothic videos that we did in the swap were like the biggest thing that's ever happened on both of our channels. And back in those days, there were not that many gothic books. Like I could probably count on like 2.5 hands how many Gothic books were out there. So it was really like not a big thing back then. So now everybody loves it. So um, but that's like my specialty. That's my favorite thing to do. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to turn these into enchanted forest, which isn't gothic, but it is a darker theme. And the book started out as like a gothic Christmas because it was really centered around like Scrooge and the Grinch. Thank you, Angela. Um, and and so I was like, okay, we're gonna put a new little bow on this and wrap it back up again and see what happens. So but yeah, so that's what I've been working on. Like, so what I did was like the kit that I used came from a shop and Release to Crafton is that shop. And thankfully the images were not overtly Christmas. They were pretty like dark influence because it was like a gothic Christmas kit, sort of. So to come up with the thought of like, let's change the theme, I'm like, okay, what are the colors speaking to me? What other vibes are there in the book that I can kind of like play off? And since it was kind of like greenish, burgundy, I'm like, I think this is saying like forest or woodland, something magical to me. And so I'm like, let's change it into a woodland magical situation. And so that's what I did. So like to do that, like I didn't have much to do, but it was tricky because for me personally, when I make my books, I like them to still have space in them. I like people to be able to get them and still fill them up. Like if I've gotten books like this, and I can show them to you from my friends that are like this, the pure alligator mouth, and they're gorgeous and I love them. But I like to leave that up to the people who get it. So the tricky part was being able to take out all the old ephemera that was like, actually, it's still right here, like all of the old ephemera that was like really Christmassy. And this doesn't look like a lot, but this is about an inch worth of ephemera. So that helped me be able to regain some space to add new ephemera to the book for the new themes. So that's kind of that. Am I talking too much?
No, no, but could we see some of the pages?
Sure. Let me
Is it
see.
okay or is it a secret?
No, no, it's not a secret. I've been flipping through it back and forth while I've been working on it. And it's kind of
It
cool
looks
because
it looks like delicious. I want to see
thank,
inside.
thank you. You would be able to actually see what the original book looks like also on my channel if you searched for like Scrooge or Dark Christmas or something like that on my channel, you would be able to see the originals.
Okay,
And then now you'd be able to see how they look. But let me flip the camera.
let me uh, find your YouTube channel.
Okay, so here it is. So now when you open it, it's a completely different vibe. Like this, I added some paint to it to make it like a little bit more dark and a little bit more grungy, where before I just left it with the green and white plaid because I thought that was a little bit more Christmassy. But just that one little detail has already modified it. And then I'll add a tag here at the front. Um, thank you, Angela. Thank you for that. That's exactly what it is. Um, and this is one of the images from the kit, which you can see it's not totally like Christmassy. Like there's a little bit of like I think they're called holly berries there, but other than that, it kind of lended itself to the magical forest. And then of course I like hand dyed papers. Um, some of the fabrics that I used weren't overly Christmas. I added a new ephemera that fits in with the theme. Like for example, here I just did this in one of my videos. It was a Christmas tree behind here, and I used the antiquarian sticker book, and I found this little pear, and I just covered the Christmas tree with a pear. I had already stamped in the book with like woodland kind of stuff, so this was like a fern stamp that I had in here already. But yeah, so this is kind of like how it's looking so far. I added in sentiments now that kind of direct your attention into the new direction of the new theme. Um, Yeah, so all the original hand dyed papers in here, but I didn't have to add any new trims or anything. Um, so like this is a new piece of ephemera that I added to help tie it in. But this is how it looks. The charms also on the book, I didn't really have to do much with those because they were already kind of like in the right, like I didn't add any like Christmas trees or anything to them. So
Can you share um, those little velvet balls, what that looks like on the page?
these,
Yes. And
yeah, these are this is pom pom trim.
okay.
And I have received some of this, and hold on, let me make sure my screen is clean. Hold on. That's better. This is like pom pom trim, and I actually have received some of this. You want to see the edges?
Yes, it's so cool. I never even thought of using something like that.
Yeah, I've received some of this in like swaps, but you can also get this at like Joann's.
Yeah.
And then I stitch it onto the page so that it stays really nicely. I also do like a lot of like, um, just this is sari silk. So that's like a
Mm-hmm.
little scrap of sari silk. This was just a piece of fabric from, I don't know, some clothing or something. Sometimes if you go to the thrift store and
Mm-hmm.
you find something that's like stained, and it runs the risk then of being thrown into the landfill, it's an opportunity for you to save it and use the good parts of it and give it a new life. So that's something that I like to do a lot in my books. I'm very like aware of sustainability. So I try to reuse when I can. Um, so that's that. And then like to make further, I have more of the little pom pom trims on there. Um, and actually the little charms on here are also velvet. So that's a really nice touch that I like. And then you can see like this trim here, it's not attached to the book. It's actually in a pocket, but if you add those trims to the edge of your tags and stick them in pockets, it gives like an extra texture that's going to be sticking out of your book that's not permanent either. So if people want to move it, they can. I also did a video on how I made this. This is my first time making one of these things. And it's I of course I always try to break the mold by doing something different. And I made my flippy pieces a lot bigger. Thank you. I'm glad that you like that one. Um, so what happens with when they're bigger, this is something that I learned while doing it, is as each one lifts, it captures more air underneath, which causes them to stick a little bit. So you have to shimmy it a little bit. So I don't think it's a big issue, but it's something that I learned while doing it. Traditionally, these pieces are a lot smaller, maybe like 3 by 3, and these here are like 4 by 6 by 5 or something like that. So they're much, much bigger. But yeah, so that's how the edges are. I also added in some of this trim here to the edge to add in a little bit more of like a woodland. It's a gold metallic trim. But yeah, so this is kind of what I have been doing in this book, turning the theme into. I also did a video on this page. I added the Tim Holtz wallpaper to the background. I highly distressed it down. What you probably can't see is, thank you, Christy. Um, it's the wallpapers, which we all know. I tore it, and then I used a lot of the Tim Holtz. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you. A lot of the edges are torn, and then I distressed it, and then I used a digital kit that had a bunch of bugs in it and turned it into a tag, so you can still write on the back of this tag. And then the tree stump is the pocket. And then another thing that I like to do is um the ribbon that has wire in it, the wired ribbon, I always take the wire out of there, and I reuse the wire in various ways. And in this case, I use the wire to make this butterfly on the page. So now this butterfly kind of floats. So like when you're turning the pages and you open it, then you have this like little butterfly that kind of moves around. So I thought that was kind of a neat idea. Thank you, Lisa. And I don't really go into that much detail on my videos on YouTube anymore for various reasons, but also sometimes people don't care. They just don't want to hear me talking about everything. But I'm happy that you guys are interested in it and you like it. I'm happy to share the things that I know, but sometimes people just want to flip through. So I'm glad that you guys care and you guys are asking questions. I really appreciate it so much. I'm almost done. I still have to add something to the back here, but yeah. So that's how it's looking so far, and I have two of them. You've been geeking all week. I know. I've been trying so hard to keep up with everyone and everything, and there's so many talented people in this retreat, and I'm just like, I work full time, and I have two small businesses plus taking care of home, so I'm like, like exorcist head spinning around. Thank you, Winnie.
You should
But
have access to the other thing. If I didn't give you access to the Artisan Pass, you get that free just for being a speaker. So watch that stuff whenever you want.
pillows. I missed that comment. One sec. Oh, you saw my pillows on the couch? My whole house is gothic, actually. Like even in the kitchen, I've got like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. My whole entire house from the top to the bottom is gothic. The no buy, no die project, I haven't. That's done. Thank you, Ellen. The no die, no buy project is done, but I want to do another segment of it. And I'm going to be doing a lot with like paper bags. So tacky glue. Okay, so for me, I'm very like persnickety on my glues. So for glue sticks, traditionally I like to use the Elmer's, but it has to be the extra bond one, and that's for gluing paper to paper, especially when you're gluing small stuff. However, Priscilla, my friend, was joking around with me because I ran out of glue the other day, and she sent me this extra large glue stick. Look how big this glue stick is. It's wild. It's wild. Like it's almost as big as the aliens. Doesn't it sound like Priscilla? And then so I like to use the glue sticks for that. And then for paper to paper, this is it. If you use this glue properly, it is going to hold everything that you glue with it forever. And it's not going to wrinkle or warp your papers. You don't need a lot of it. For my fabrics, of course, the one and only Fabri-Tac. And anytime I'm gluing fabric to fabric, or if my paper touches fabric, this is what I use. And then for like on some of these pages, as you saw, like in my video, if you watch the videos that are on my channel, for pages like this right here, this page was, thank you, Charlene. This page underneath the owls was a completely different paper. And for that, I use Collage Podge. And I like Collage Podge better than Mod Podge because to me, Mod Podge is too sticky. Collage Podge is Collage Podge is matte and it doesn't stick. For gluing, like how you see how I have the buttons glued to the chipboard here, I always, always, always will recommend that you use gel medium, and any kind of like a soft gel medium is going to lock those things into place. For the longest time, I was like, why is everybody like back in the days, like years ago, everybody was like art glitter glue, art glitter glue. And I'm sure it's amazing and I'm sure it's really good. But it was always like back then, it was like out of my budget. I can afford it now, but I don't think that I need it. I just remember it being so expensive, and I was like, can I justify that? But it was like one of those things where like, well, everyone's using it, so it must be really good. But then I'm like, hold on. The things that I'm using are working perfectly fine. No one has ever contacted me back and said, "Hey, April, my journal just fell apart." And so, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't need to. And Pink Oddbird, the premise of it is because I want it to be different. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I like to call it the old Kansas City shuffle. When everybody's going that way, I go that way. I do not like to do what everybody else does. And that's why I tell everyone it's good to learn from other people. It's good to pick other people's brains. It's good to get ideas from other people. And sometimes it's fine. Like if you want to do a tutorial and follow it to the T, I've done it. That's fine. But once you start doing it over and over, you might get a feeling. You might be like, oh, I want to do this instead. I want to do that instead. And this is how you start developing your style. And that's why I tell everybody it's important for you to create from within. Because when you create from within, it's exuding in your art because no one else can do what's inside your body. um, Collage Podge, Mod Podge. No, they're different makers. Mod Podge is I forget the brand, but Collage Podge is golly, I have it. It's over here. If you need me to tell you, I can get it and show you. But they're two different makers. And I think Collage Podge does have a matte version as well, but it isn't matte enough for me. So I don't use it. But yeah, so creating from within, I think is important for you to develop your own personal style. And that's how, it makes you feel a little bit, it just makes you feel like every time someone compliments you on your work and you know that you created it from within yourself, it makes you feel that much more, and it keeps your art going. It fuels you. So that's my advice on that.
I love it.
Maker's Magic, I haven't. Add your spin. That's right. And like when you're first learning, it's fine. Like do it how they're showing it. Try it out. Do it a few times how they've shown it to you. But then eventually just do your own thing. Like nothing when okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, if you follow my channel or not, but I have severe OCD. And so like in my outside life, like everything is so when I'm crafting, my motto to myself is nothing has to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean it gets to be shoddy. No, it just means it doesn't have to be perfect. You can do imperfect work that's beautiful and long lasting. So that's the way I like to create personally. Whatever happens is what happens. Like there's been times when I've been crafting, maybe this has happened to you. I like stamp an image and I got done stamping it. There's a little bit of stamp ink left on the stamp. I drop the stamp on a blank page. And then I'm like, great, what do I do now? So then you rethink it. Nothing is unfixable is if you've listened to my channel, I say it all the time. Nothing is unfixable. So you just think about, okay, well, what can I do now? And you do it, and then you have something new that might elevate it even further than what you originally were thinking that it could be. So that's my advice. I don't know. I just like to give because these are the questions that I get so much on my channel, and I try to respond to every question. And sometimes it's 5 years later, but I always will respond.
No, we appreciate it. We've been getting a lot of different points of view, and it's really helpful because not everybody is built the same. You know what I mean? As far as what we like and all those different things. So, don't feel like you're talking too much. We're all listening.
I feel bad. I guess, I don't know. Is there anything else that you wanted to say? Or should I keep going or what do I
Yeah,
do?
go ahead. You go ahead and
Um,
keep talking. I just wanted to reassure you. That's all.
Yeah, the
thank
whole
you. I
hour is
appreciate
yours,
that.
April. We're here
No, that's
to
great.
watch
What are
you.
you
We
working
want to
on?
hear from you.
What are you working on there?
I'm just finishing my journal that we made for the thing. I finally get to play for a little bit, so I'm like, I'm gonna play for a little bit
I love
while
it.
I
I love
listen
it.
to everybody.
That's great. But yeah, so I mean, when I first started my channel, I actually used to make mini albums. And the very first mini album that I made was a creepy carnival. And I still have it. And I have like a bunch of pictures that my mom gave my mom gave me of myself when I was a kid, and I'm going to add those to that little album. But it's so funny to me because I don't know how many people here do mini albums and how many do junk journals, but I spent one full year, literally one full year, watching so many people who are, some of them are not even on YouTube anymore. And I'm so grateful for them because I spent a year watching and do minis. Okay. I spent a year watching and learning from so many other people before I got the courage to create my channel. And I had kind of like watched mostly mini album things, but I saw a few junk journal things. And when I created my first mini album, I actually added a little signature of copy dyed paper into the back of the mini album. So I always say in my head, like that was a little prequel that I didn't even realize at the time to making journals, because I don't know, I really, really enjoy making journals. I love the precision of making mini albums so much because that's in my wheelhouse, you know, all the precise measurements and everything, and placing everything perfectly is like really like one of my favorite things. But then the imperfection of junk journals and the um you know, the randomness of it is something that I also really enjoy. um yeah, I don't know, it makes me feel happy. You agree also? Yeah, I think it's really fun. One journal that I have is a journal that my friends and I made together. It was kind of, you like doing both of them also, Monique? Yeah. I have, yeah, I can show you. Okay, give me one sec. I'll bring the journal that I have that, um, let me just give me 1 second. I'll go grab it. I should show you the rack. I'll show you the rack. Give me 1 sec. Let me bring the camera. I'll show you the rack. This is where I keep my, well, first I have, this one here. This is the, this is the first journal that I ever received, in a swap. Actually, no, you know what? This one wasn't a swap. This one was a journal that I won in a giveaway from Gypsy Rose Papery, and it was like all Disney themed. And I ended up turning it into my gratitude journal. So this is the very first journal that I ever received from anybody who wasn't me. So this was the first time I had gotten my hands. And I don't know if you guys ever remember that feeling of ever having someone else's work in your hands, but it's so amazing, like awe inspiring. Yeah, the doorknob is really, really cool on that one. I couldn't get enough. Yeah. So she's the one who we did the Gothic swap. The very first swap that I did was with her, and it was Gothic. I picked the theme, and she was like down for it because she also loves goth. But yeah, it's amazing. So that was that one. And then I'm gonna move over here and I'll show you guys where I keep my other ones that are like in my Gothic realm. So I have this big rack here, and on this rack is like a lot of like my creepy kind of stuff. But there are some journals here that were made from friends. I've got this one that was made by a friend, about all stuff that I love. And this one here, check out this journal. Oof, this journal. Look how big this journal is. It's wild how big this journal is. But what's cool about it is this book. It's a good, probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 inch spine on that one. But what was really cool about this journal is my friends, I decided that it would be cool if we all had a book with a theme that we all love. And if each friend would make a signature, and then obviously one person would bind the book and send it off to whoever's book it belonged to. So this one was mine. Obviously, my theme was goth, and this is the book that they made. There's a total of 5 signatures in this one. And one of the signatures is mine. And so the I love music. I don't know if you guys know that, but the theme was of mine was Black Number One. I don't know if you guys know that song or not, but I love that song, Black Number One. And so I wanted everything in the book to be black. One of my friends trolled me and did a pink signature. I'm sure you know it was Priscilla. But all my other friends did black signatures to go like with the song, and they added like little elements from the lyrics and stuff like that. I knew you would know. But this is it, and this signature here in the back is mine. So this was like my vision when I thought of the theme, but this is the signature that I did. And everything in my signature, I tried to do it as black as I could. Like even this stuff, I lightly painted over it with black. I have a favorite page in here though. We got Nosferatu 2. I embossed that with the Tim Holtz. Those are Tim Holtz stamps there. Everything is just black on black. It's hard to tell, but there is like legit stuff in here. It's all just black. Because this is what I wanted. There's Lily Munster, and I was only able to do like images like this because the book isn't for sale. It's my own personal book. Some black embossing up here also. But I don't know if you guys have ever seen a fully black book, but this is it. This is mine. And yeah, I love it. I cut out a little flower image and decoupage that on tissue paper. Black velvet lace. This tag, everything on it is black. Pink and crispy. This tag here, I used one of those wooden chairs, painted it black. I broke the leg. And there's black embossing on here also. Black, actually no, that's black texture paste. Black. I turned the texture paste black by adding paint to it. In case you guys don't know, the texture paste that I used was white. I added black paint to it. And you have dark nature paper? Please do. Please do. I would love to use it. So that is this book. And then I also have my Dark Alice in Wonderland book that I got in a swap, a witch book from a swap, Beetlejuice book from a swap. This one is another Vampire Cemetery book from a swap. And then this book up here, this is probably one of my favorites. If you've been on my channel, you know I redid a scrapbook that belonged to a lady named Arlene, because I went to a sale. Her book was there, left by the family. It was falling apart. The papers were tearing. Everything was like falling out of it, and they were going to throw it away because nobody was buying it. Nobody, I mean, who wants it? So I was like, my heart. So I took the book and I rebuilt a new cover. I took everything that she had in the book out of it. I'll show it to you. And I rebuilt it. Now, I haven't sold this book because if one day I find, I've looked for her family online. I've looked for, I think this is Arlene's mom here. I would like to give this to someone in her family, but that's Arlene. I rebuilt the whole book and I put all of her stuff back inside of it. And now it's not falling apart, and there's even space for them to like write little notes if they remember Arlene. These are I really want to keep this. The Oddball, it's an imitation that she got for a dance. Little drawings that people made for her. She kept all of her invitations, party invites. I think there's even a notebook from back in the day when you used to dance with someone. They would give you a little notebook with a tiny pencil and you wrote who you danced with. That's in here too. This is all Arlene's. So I know, Melissa, I can't throw it away. Like I think this one ended up being her husband, but yeah, a dance card. She had letters from so many people. Arlene was loved and very sought after by many, but you can see I just put everything all back together. And now the book is whole, and I would love to give it to someone in her family. And they only live the place that I got it is only about 20 minutes from my home. One of these is Arlene. So, I'm like, they can't be that far. Unless all of the family just didn't live out here, but you could even see like this funny little drawing that somebody, probably one of her boyfriends, drew. It's the mom getting mad saying Arlene, and then in the recliner, they're kissing. So that's like really one of a kind kind of stuff, things that you're not gonna, it's Arlene stuff. So I can't sell this book, but this is probably one of my favorite books. These are also hand drawn by someone who gifted them to her. So yeah, I know there are a lot of actually really funny drawings in this book, or in her stuff that I put in this book, but yeah. So those are like some of my other books, aside from all the ones that I have downstairs in the garage. I hope so too. Thank you. Thank you. Would love to find her family. But yeah, so those are some of my other ones that I have as well. No, you know what? I haven't asked places next door, and I actually don't remember the house that the estate was at anymore. Actually, I might have the address though on some of the envelopes. No, I didn't think of that. So I could go back because there are a lot of letters in there. Although I think she used to live in Hollywood. So yeah, that's one of probably my favorite things that I've done. I think one of my other favorite journals that I ever made was the journal that I made about COVID when it couldn't go anywhere and we couldn't do anything. And then I called it the Dark Spring. So it was like all gothic-y and bleak because that's how it felt. Yeah, that's kind of it, really. I don't know. Does anybody else have any questions or anything I can answer? I appreciate you guys listening to me. I feel weird.
Feel weird.
Thank
We've all
you.
been like taking turns talking. So it's really nice to sit and listen.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, Ellen. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a great day.
I was going to show you the black paper that I was talking about because
Oh,
I know you
yes.
appreciate it because it's not everybody appreciates like because it's black. It's like black. So
I
this is
love
the
it.
one. I love this one. And I hope somebody I always want someone to like use this one because it's like, it's all just black. There's a little, oh, I forgot. I double-sided this one. So like, that's the front. And that's the back.
Oh,
The front.
yes, this is definitely my kind of vibe.
And the back. And then they get darker. Oh, this was one that I kind of accidentally messed up the print. So that's not supposed to be there.
They're beautiful.
I left this one. I just really liked this one. Oh, cool.
I like the way that looks too.
Oh. I just like the way this paper makes everything look like velvet. So that's the best part. And then like the little cutouts.
Is it, what kind of paper did you print on?
I use a double-sided matte, the matte coated photo paper, but it's also known like as presentation paper. So it's paper. It's like a 33-pound paper. It's from Koala brand. I've tried other ones, other brands, but this one so far has always been what I love. And this one, I love the little black, my little black mushrooms. I love this one. That's the whole thing.
That's beautiful.
The little one, but I was like, I wanted something like just black.
Those would actually look really good in these books. If I was making these from the beginning, I would definitely be using some of those papers in here because it's the perfect vibe. Perfect, perfect, perfect. They're beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you for showing those. I'm gonna have to find those. They're on Etsy, right?
No, I have my own website. I don't do the Etsy. I stopped doing
Okay.
Etsy. They made me mad.
Double-sided
Double-sided
photo
photo
paper.
paper. Where do you get it? Yeah, it is. You can write on it. You can paint on it. You can glue it. You can. That's why I like it so much. Like it takes a beating. Let me see if I have it up. It's always in my cart. It's what I print my papers on, but constantly buying it. You show us more of your journals. We definitely love seeing them. Or let
I
us know
think
what's going on with you, where we can watch you, all that good stuff.
so. Oh, there's the link. Is that? Oh, that's for your paper.
That's the paper. Yeah, that's the paper. But I will get you your. I've been following
Yeah,
you
Jenny.
sometimes. You were on
Okay, yeah, that would be perfect.
Daisy's design team, so.
Could I show some tiny journals? Most
Whatever
of my
you want.
tiny ones are packed away in the garage.
Yes.
Whatever you want.
Do you guys have some?
Mine are not nearly as nice. I'm not following. I'm not following you.
I
I'm
did.
new.
Funny is a long time ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, I started making the journals that everyone's making now. They're like the tall, skinny ones, and I'm like, oh, I was making that a long time ago. Um, I have this little one. This is a smaller one, and this one is just made with black velvet. It's black and pink on this one. So this is just a little tiny one, but I used, this one's really cute. I don't know if I'm ever going to use this because I really love it. I know it's a strug, but I use like the handwriting paper that kids use. This one has just got, instead of making like really textured edges, I just did the Sari Silk straight. So it still has like some interest, but it's just straight. So let me show you. I also use like random pieces of tissue paper that were drawn on. But this is like a smaller one. This one is not that big. It's hard to use the faves. I know. You know what? I have to use them though, because if not, I'm gonna just die and never, and someone's gonna come to my estate sale and be like, whoa, look at all these papers. And I'm gonna be like just dead and never have used them. So I need to start doing something with my papers. But so you can see, like I just did like the straight edge, like you know how we normally do like the ruffles and stuff, but this is just a straight edge on that one. So that's that. And then this one, I didn't make this. I honestly can't remember who I got it from, but I love it. But this is also kind of like a small one. And they made it using one of the paper bags that, you know, you ship stuff in usually. But it's a really cool one. And this one, I believe, is a Frankenstein themed one. It's got like coffee dyed paper in here. We did like little tiny pockets. Like these tags are so little that are in here. 32 weight. Is that what you're talking about? Paper? Oh, I do know who did it. They put their business card in here. Little Bird Creations. But I bought this one from, I think that's Melanie, I think. And then my friend made one. If you guys are into like more art kind of stuff or mixed media, my friend made one of these for all of me and my friends. And these are made like the cover is file folder, but they're all just like a mixture. Like this is drawing paper, so it's a nice thick paper, and this is ring bound because it's mixed media. You're gonna have to learn. You like the stitches? If you don't have a sewing machine or if you don't want to sew, you can also draw them on. That looks equally as cool. Like it's just a nice little element that adds extra texture. But yeah, so the papers are all different in here, but they're all like thicker papers. You can see there's a playing card in here. So just to get fun and like creative, like with the things that you add to your journals. Um, yeah. Oh, I already did a page in here, but I'm not that good at mixed media, but I try. I also have an idea book, which I purchased from somebody a while back, and this is a book cover, like an actual book, and they took out the insides of it and added in new pages. So this is the one that it's steampunk theme. So this is the one that I use to keep like my ideas in. I don't know if you guys use different journals for different things. This is another one that I made back in the days, like I told you, like 5 years ago. I made this as a tall, skinny one. And this one is fabric covered. I love this one. It's small and skinny, but it's got such fun papers in it. Like so good. I love this one so much. And this is another one that's going to be hard to write in, but it's a super fun one. Um, so yeah, so those are some of like my smaller ones. I even did some little pockets in there. But yeah. And I also did this one years ago. Tall, skinny. And this one is Halloween theme. My favorite. So I used some of like my Halloween papers in there. You never thought of doing it? I have a video somewhere on my channel from years ago where I was even actually working in them. And I think when I originally created them, I did them in a live stream, and I don't save my live streams, which I know everybody hates when I don't save it, but I just don't like to save them because I feel like it messes up my page. So yeah,
I thought I
that's
heard you say something like you were not creative, but you try.
on the mixed media. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm not good at it, but I try to do it, you know.
Their stuff is awesome. You guys go
Thank you.
check out her YouTube for sure, and then tell her how creative she really is.
Thank you. Thank you. It's I think the old imposter syndrome, it always comes back for an attack.
Yeah, it gets us all every so often.
Yeah. I missed that question. Let me go back to it. Do you use photo sticker paper? And if so, which one do you recommend? I don't, um, yeah, I don't use it. I don't think so. But I think I have some. Mine is HP because I use the same as what my printer is, which is HP. Do you use photo sticker? Get a tall drink and curl up to binge. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Melissa. That's the tip of the iceberg on my journals, but I had to start putting them downstairs because I don't have space for them upstairs. Creative and a little OCD. Yeah. I try not to be OCD in the crafting, but it kind of creeps in. It kind of creeps in a little bit. You prefer matte vinyl when making stickers. Does you make stickers also, Monique? Is that what you guys are talking about, making stickers?
Any just even making stickers or making like anything that's like the ephemera that I know I'm going to be just sticking, I'll use it's printable matte vinyl because it sits really thin and it pops the same way like this paper pops the color really nicely. And it's more durable and a little stretchy. So if I want to put it around like something chunky or something, it sits just a little better than if I were to try to use regular like glossy sticker paper or something like that. But I love matte printable. It just works really good.
What's the weight on that?
It doesn't work like that with the vinyl. I gotta look to see like the last one I got. because it's not considered a paper. It's actually vinyl, like rolls of vinyl. Well, not rolls, but it comes like in a pack like this too. But I've changed the brands every so often, but as long as it's printable vinyl, not sticker paper,
So
it
you could
always
put that
looks
in your
like good, but it's
printer?
like thin. Yeah, yeah.
Vinyl?
It looks like paper. It's printable to put inside of it's made to go into your printer. I don't know if I have any more.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, I have a big old pack. Here's the one. This
Oh,
one.
but it says it's 32 pound, yeah?
This is the printable sticker paper that I use.
Oh, okay.
It's
So that's what you
printable
use for
vinyl
stickers.
sticker paper, but it's vinyl. It's not just paper. But I get them both in gloss and in matte. But when you get it, it feels thick, but when you peel it off, it's super, super thin. It's a really thin piece of vinyl. I'll try to get the link. If you guys go, yeah, I'll try to get you a link.
So after you print your stickers, then you have to, what, you use how do you get them to you have to fussy cut them out?
You can, but I use my Cricut as often as possible. But yeah, you can.
So
You
that
can
kind of
definitely
works in
fussy cut
a
'em.
way of like a scan and cut sort of.
Yeah,
Ah,
do
okay.
that. You can do a scan and cut, a Cricut, or anything like that. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. Because I just have them so much.
Okay,
I
thank you,
like
thank you.
I make stickers for my shop, but I stopped for a while when I started doing junk journal like crazy.
What's your favorite style?
For junk journals,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one. I mean, my stuff is usually either witchy or super bright and bubbly. Chunky candies, things like that. Like this one's a little bit more rare for me, like this kind of thing, but like every once in a while I'll do something just kind of pretty-ish. But yeah, most of mine are like this was one of the first ones that I designed my own paper for. This was the Wonderland one. So like the little Alice in Wonderland. This is the first one I started switching over my paper because it's two different papers. So like this is regular paper, this is the other paper. You can tell, this is where you can tell the big difference. This is the same lace and this looks like it has glitter on it and it's just paper. So that's
That's
her there
very
with,
different. That's a
and
much
that's
more
her.
vibrant. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the 3D detail effect and everything that the paper gives. So I stopped using regular paper unless I want something to look really dull and faded, then I'll go back to regular paper. But now it's hard to switch. Once you start using it, it's hard to switch.
I'm gonna have to check some of that out. I have some journals that friends have made me using presentation paper, and it feels different. It's like, oh, that's really nice.
But it's fun. Let's see. Do you have any more questions?
Yeah. Although I do like to use lighter weight papers sometimes for texture because it adds a different element to the journal. Yeah. But primarily, especially if I'm printing like digital papers that are going to be soiled in ink, 32 is the way to go. Yeah. 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 I like the lighter ones because when you dye them, coffee stain them, they get real like crunchy, in a different way than the 32s.
Yeah.
I think I answered
Go make it.
most of the
Here they
questions.
come.
Ah, yeah, I saw some multiple signatures to the spine. Yeah. Um,
What?
the the template that I used is my favorite one, and it was done by
You're gonna try? Okay.
I can't remember. If you message me, I can find the link. It's the best spine tutorial. It's the one that I use when I'm sewing them into the spine directly. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for all of your questions. Thank you for the kind words and sharing your ideas and information with me and one another and having me as part of this. It's an honor to be among so many talented people. And sorry for asking so many questions all the time. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I kind of know what I'm doing.
No, you're fine. I mean,
Perfect.
this is a lot, to be in an event like this, it's a lot. So we appreciate you hanging in there.
Of course. Yes, it's my pleasure. It's an honor. So I'm grateful. So thank you for having me. Thank you guys all so much.
You're welcome. Also, you guys, on April's page, when you go watch her presentation, I have attached the freebie code, or I have put the right link with the freebie code attached that April shared. So that's all good now.
Yeah. Thank you. You guys can grab some. I don't have many digitals, but I think I have some hand dyed papers in there that I've done, and I have some Gothic kits of my personal Gothic ephemera. Thank you.
Going over there. Thank you so much.
Please do. So yeah, I guess that's it. Yes, I can step off the soapbox.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. The next thing that we have is in 2 hours. It's just our closing call for the retreat. We still are going to have the artisan day tomorrow. Those who are artisan pass holders, we'll be doing a full day tomorrow, but the free part of the retreat has ended until, well, I mean, I guess not until 9 a.m. tomorrow, but at any rate, all the live things and stuff. So make sure that you come to that, because we'll probably be giving away some prizes and things. So anyway, so everybody can hang out or go or whatever you want to do. Okay. Thank you, April.
All right. So then we can come back on here at 4 p.m.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I'll come back at 4.
And you can come tomorrow too if you want.
On the Zoom. Is that where it's going to be?
Not this one.
It's
I
a
mean, it
different
is.
one.
Oh, today, yes. Tomorrow, no.
Tomorrow, a different Zoom.
Thank you.
Okay.